Welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to be going over 10 cinematic professional shots that you guys can use on your DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And guys, these shots are going to instantly level up your skills in video production in general. And I can guarantee that if you guys use this on your Osmos, people are going to instantly think that you are a professional videographer. So if you guys are new here, my name is Judson and I run a successful video production company that generates just a little bit over $60,000 per month. And on this channel, I go over video production, how to make money in the industry, and self-improvement. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. First, I want to go ahead and explain the settings of the camera. So to get the most out of your DJI Osmo Pocket 3, you're going to want to first change the color profile to D-Log. And you can do that by turning on the professional settings in the Osmo Pocket 3. What D-Log is it's basically a flat color profile that allows you to take full advantage of the dynamic range of the camera in post-production. The second thing you're going to want to do is change it to slow motion 4K 120 frames per second. That's what I went ahead and did for all of the shots in this video so that it also looks as cinematic as possible. So guys, me and my buddy Andrew had to do a shoot out there in Utah. So we decided to go out to the Bonaflat Salt Lake to shoot all of these videos. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get right into the 10 top shots. Okay, so for the first shot, we're going to be doing the orbit shot, or a 360-degree orbit. And the way that you guys do this shot is you're going to have the subject stand right in the middle of wherever you want to shoot it. And you're essentially just going to do a 360 pan around him, where you're going to keep him in the middle of the frame as much as you can possible. Sometimes it's hard when you're on a gimbal because the gimbal doesn't turn so well. That's why this shot has a little bit not perfect of him being in the middle, but you're just going to basically go around 360. This technique creates a dynamic and immersive effect, allowing the audience to see the subject from all angles while maintaining a focal point. And this is actually one of my favorite shots to do just in general because it gives you a unique perspective. So let's move into the second shot, which is going to be a tilt-up reveal. So in this shot, you can see that first I am moving forward, panning forward, and you actually see some of the salt lakes. And then what I am doing is slowly panning up the camera so that you can slowly see Andrew, the subject, moving forward. This technique creates a dynamic introduction to the subject, building anticipation in gradually unveiling the scene of the subject and just overall where he is at. It is hard to do with timing sometimes and also focus, because as you guys can see in the video, first it's focused on the salt lake and then it slowly is focusing on the subject. Luckily, I did have to do it a couple times to get the focus correct, but as you guys can see, the shot just looks absolutely beautiful. So moving into the third shot, we got the 360 spin shot. So this is essentially where you set the gimbal mode on FPV mode and you slowly twist and turn the camera to a 360-degree upside down angle as you are panning in to the subject. This creates a dynamic and dizzying effect, adding a sense of motion and distortion to the scene. It's one of my favorite shots to do, especially in creative aspects or creative filming, as it just gives you guys another unique perspective. So next we are going to be going into the lateral tracking shot. And this shot is essentially where the subject is moving from left to right or from right to left, and you're just going to be following the subject at the same speed that he's moving, maintaining a constant distance and angle from both you and the moving subject. So as you can see, Andrew is walking here from right to left, and then I am also following him from right to left at the same speed so that the background is moving, but Andrew and I are just kind of staying consistent as he's moving from one side to the other. This creates a dynamic and engaging perspective, and it's often used to follow action or movement across the scene. So moving into a pan shot. For this shot, Andrew is also going to be moving from right to left, but rather than moving with him, we're just going to be following him with the camera, but staying in one place. So essentially, we're just going to be panning the camera from right to left, just kind of aiming and following Andrew, which gives you a little bit of a different perspective than the previous shot. This technique involves rotating the camera horizontally on its axis to keep the moving subject in frame while the camera itself remains stationary. So moving into the next shot, we got the high to low reveal shot. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to just kind of hold the camera pretty high up and then slowly bring it down as Andrew walks into the shot. So you're essentially moving the camera from high to low, revealing the subject as they walk past you. This is called a tilt down reveal or a high to low reveal shot. And this technique starts with the camera positioning high, tilting downward as the subject moves forward. It's going to gradually reveal them from a higher vantage point to a lower one. So moving into the next shot, we got a simple dolly in where the subject stays stationary and you just dolly into the subject. It can also be called a pushed in shot or a dolly in shot. And this technique involves moving the camera closer to the subject in a straight line without any complicated angles or pans. This creates a sense of focus and it draws the viewer's attention to the subject. Moving into the next shot, we have a dolly out, and this is where it's essentially the exact same thing as the dolly in. The only difference is instead of panning into the subject, you're going to be panning out of the subject. This technique involves moving the camera farther away from the subject, slowly revealing where he is at and revealing the subject in general. This creates another more of a revealing shot of the subject. This shot is going to be called a tilt up shot or a pedestal shot. And in this shot, the camera starts with a downward tilt and then it slowly tilts up. So it's actually pretty similar to a shot that we did earlier, but instead of actually moving forward with the subject, we're actually just straight up going to be tilting it up as the subject walks by and it is revealing a character. This technique is effective for introducing or emphasizing the presence of a character or a subject in the frame. So he's just slowly coming in. It's very similar to the previous shot. I actually like the previous shot a little bit more, but this is another option for you guys to use. If you don't want to actually be dollying in and panning up, you can just pan up. So moving into the final and last shot of today's video, guys, we got the 360 tracking with horizontal movement. So what we're going to be doing here is the subject is going to be walking from right to left. First, going to start out by following the subject, but then you're going to, rather than continuing the same speed of the subject, you're going to start to pan in with the subject and also curve the camera as he's walking, which is going to give you this 360 tracking with horizontal movement feeling. So in this shot, you're not only circling around the subject, but you're also tracking their horizontal movement across the scene. This combination adds complexity and dynamic motion to the shot, capturing both the subject's lateral movement and the surrounding environment around it. So yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up all 10 shots with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And you guys can actually use these shots with any other camera. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit something about filming in the video production world as a professional camera operator. So if you guys enjoyed the video or got value, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions about these shots, feel free to ask some more questions in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back with all of you guys. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.